So today we're doing our very first Instagram Live, and we're doing it Q&A style. We're just gonna go through some really awesome questions that you guys submitted and talk about some of our process, talk about how we work with clients, and it sounds like we're gonna talk a little bit about budgets. I mean, here we go. Hey everybody, never done this before. I've got butterflies. We posted a story just asking some questions, what you guys wanted to, hi Maureen, what you guys wanted to find out about, some questions that you wanted us to answer. Maureen sent in, how do you choose the right flooring for your home? It's a really good question. There's a lot of options out there right now. Some of our favorite flooring is luxury vinyl plank and engineered hardwood. Luxury vinyl plank, it's a man-made material. Obviously, it's vinyl. It's a very thin product. But we love luxury vinyl plank if you have an active household. Engineered hardwood is a natural wood on the surface. So depending on the wood, it's gonna be really soft. So if you have medium-sized to large dogs, if you have kids that are active running through the house, maybe they're bringing in mud from the outside while they're playing, or maybe they're just, you have an active household. It's busy, things are happening, then we like to look at luxury vinyl plank as a better option because it's scratch resistant, it's water resistant, and it's super easy to maintain. Some of the things that we look out for with those LVPs is the grain, and some of them get really grainy. So when you're cleaning, it becomes a little tougher to clean inside those grooves. So when we're selecting the LVP, we look at that texture and we talk through it with the clients while we're selecting the LVP and how they feel about it for cleaning purposes. If you have a Roomba that mops or something like that, it might do a fairer job at getting in those grooves, but just something to think about. Engineered hardwood, I love engineered hardwood. You get some really wide planks, you could get some varying lengths in the engineered hardwood, and there's so many wood options and stain options. Some have a wear layer that you can sand and refinish a couple of times, maybe 2, 3 max, no matter the engineered hardwood, at least in our experience. So that's a really great option. If you don't have medium to large dogs, I would recommend engineered hardwood. It is higher in cost per square foot than luxury vinyl planks, so that's another thing to think about. You want to look at the cost for the overall material, the installation, and what that's going to look like, and then that may be your determining factor. So I would look at all of those things. So the next one is, are there any design tricks for a room with no windows? That's a tough one. I work out of an office that is built out of cement block with 0 windows. What I'll say to that is paint and lighting are your friends. I like to reference my office to the black hole of abyss. I don't have enough lighting in there, and I just never installed recessed lighting. I would recommend recessed lighting at maybe a 3000, that's the color temperature. So residential homes, we usually say 2500 for the temperature of the light that's coming out of that fixture. If you have a room that's dark naturally with no windows, I'd say maybe go 3000. That's gonna be a little bit brighter, a little bit more true white. The lower you go, the more warm that light's gonna be, so think yellowish. So 3000, 4000, and 5000 are like getting to true daylight. I would definitely recommend a 3000. Paint, let's talk paint in those rooms because paint is huge. It's probably one of the most forgotten aspects of a room, and I don't know that people understand the true impact that paint has to a space. It can give you productive vibes, it can give you relaxation vibes, it can give you moody vibes, and if you've been watching any of our crazy videos that Trey's been doing for us, thank you, you know I like moody rooms. But white paint is a really good option for you in a small space with no windows. What you're gonna get with that white paint, and I would go a true white. I don't know that I would go too warm with the undertone of that white because it's just going to make it that much darker. So if you're looking for a bright white, here's a good one. Pure White by Sherwin-Williams is a really great option. You can see this is considered a white, but see how warm it is compared to pure white? And this is crushed ice. This is a really good color. We don't use it often because of how warm it makes the space. So when you have a room with no windows, I would do this. I would also add mirrors. Give yourself the illusion that you have a window even though you don't. So those brighter recessed lights are going to bounce the light off that mirror into the space. And if you add adjacent mirrors, maybe this wall has a mirror, this one has a mirror, then that light's just gonna bounce through the room a little bit more. It'll make it feel brighter, it'll make it feel larger, and then you won't feel like you're in the black hole of abyss, like my office. It's so expensive for good furniture. Is it worth to buy on Amazon to save a couple bucks? It depends on where the furniture is coming from. If it's coming from overseas, I would be very careful. Overseas furniture can have wood beetles in it. If you invite wood beetles into your house, then they're going to spread to other things in your house. So I would be very careful on understanding if you're buying on Amazon where that piece is coming from. Everything we source is either local or US made and manufactured, and sourcing sustainable materials. So I would really focus on something that's not sitting in a container for months on end, allowing beetles to, I don't know what you call that. Fester? Oh yeah, breed. I have a room with heavily textured walls. Is it hard or expensive to have the texture changed to a smooth texture? So if you ever talk to a drywall contractor or just a contractor in general, they'll tell you there's several different levels of smooth. You can go 1 to 5. Level 5 is crazy smooth, there's no imperfections. That's how we prep for wallpaper. That becomes expensive because of the amount of times they have to pass over that texture. Every time they have to let it dry, which is a day or two, and depending on the amount of humidity we have in the air, it could take longer for it to dry. So they have to sand every time that texture dries and then go over it again. So it's a lot of labor to go to a level 5. You could go to a level 4 very easily. It saves you 1 extra pass, right? But my favorite texture over smooth is Old World. It looks like plaster. So to give you an idea, it has some imperfections. So it's gonna create those shadows and a little bit of texture on the wall. So it still looks like something's happening and it's not perfectly smooth. But once you paint it, if you painted it a really pretty color like Drift of Mist, then it's just going to look gorgeous. So Old World is probably my go-to over a smooth wall. Smooth walls are really in right now, but they don't really give any life. I like character in the space, so that Old World texture is gonna be, I think, a better option. The next one, what is my favorite color? It depends on the space. I love a lot of colors. Blue is probably my favorite. And the type of blue, let me see if I have it here. This is one of my favorite new paint manufacturers. Is probably like a little bit of a grayed out teal. So we all know I like to go moody in a room. This is Color Altier. They're actually out of San Francisco. We've used it in our new commercial space that we just finished. And I love this color, but a little bit darker than this, a little bit more teal-y is probably my favorite color. For paint on the wall, I love Drift of Mist. Drift of Mist, you can put it with grays, you can put it with beiges, you can put it with taupes, you can put it with all sorts of colors and lighting, and it does not pick up the colors that are in the room. So some beiges, some whites, some colors are gonna pick up yellows, pinks, blues, greens, even purples that are around the space. But Drift of Mist has not failed us yet. And even in different lighting, it still looks true to its color. So, oh, here it is, Drift of Mist, right here. So you can see it's in the white category. It is kind of a taupey base, but it's a warm white and it's true every single time we've used it. Well, thanks everybody. Have a great day. I don't know what I don't know as far as what people don't know about design and what we do. So I think it's a really great way to answer those questions, get people to understand the way I communicate, understand how I answer those questions, and give them valuable information that they can take with them and either implement on their own now, or hopefully want to hire us to help them out. I can't thank you enough for joining our very first live. That was pretty cool. I'm excited to do these every Friday. We'll do a lot of Q&A sessions. And so if you have any questions about design, construction, how we work, or just random questions, I'd love to hear them and I'll answer them for you. If you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to, hit that like or subscribe button that I hear other people talk about. And don't forget to go to my Instagram and follow us so you can find out more about what we're doing.
And hop on the live.
Oh, and hop on the live. Don't forget that.